Good morning, everybody. Anthony here. It is Thursday, May 1st, 2025 at about 9:20 a.m. In this video, I just want to reiterate a few things that I spoke about in some previous posts regarding the words problem, reaction, solution. I talked about in previous posts that the nations of the world right now that we're seeing that are bent on war, on going to war, every single nation is equipping themselves, positioning themselves, allying themselves with other nations in the looking forward to going to war. And that is what the nations of the world are on right now, including the United States. We're on a war footing, not a peace footing. They say peace and safety, but the opposite is what they're really talking about. They're talking about getting ready for war. So in so doing, the last administration, knowing that that would happen, so the puppet masters, in essence, that pull the strings of all these nations and all of our leaders, there's a board of directors, if you will. Let's look at them as that know what's coming down the pike, and they know what they want to happen and how to orchestrate it. So they're working towards goals, and it doesn't matter what administration comes in. One comes in, one goes out, another comes in, etc. The tactics always remain the same. The mission might get slowed or speeded up even, depending on what's going on and what's transpiring in world events. But there's an end goal. You hear that the Agenda 2030. So that is a milestone goal. So now in 2025, we need to be very cognizant of that Agenda 2030 goal. So everybody's speaking on it coming up this year in all the events that are going to transpire are going to be speaking about this Agenda 2030, the climate initiative, saving the planet, and all these goals they want to meet. But leading up to it, in the last 4 years that we went through, what did we see? We saw open borders. We saw people from all nations around the world, mostly military-age fighting men, coming into all of these countries around the world, including the United States. In fact, I would make the case that the United States of America received the most numerous amount of people. Why? I believe because we're a bigger landmass, and in order to transform it and change it, they need more bodies. That's basically what it comes down to. So all of these open borders were not an oversight. The open borders was a strategy of the board of directors, if you will, of the world to fundamentally change the nations, create chaos, break the culture, and break the nation ultimately. And we're seeing that played out in, you could see it as clear as day in Spain, Portugal, England, France, Ireland, Belgium. Name a country today where this is not happening at a rapid pace. If you just take the UK and look at who has been elected to office all the way down into like city councils, just go back and check and see who it is. The country has been fundamentally changed. The same exact thing is happening here in America with these cities being put into place and with Sharia law being condoned or, pushed in the United States, and people running for elected offices all the way down into city councils in the United States. It's going to fundamentally change our country. And this is not by mistake. It's not an oversight, as I just mentioned. It's a strategy. For what? To get the people of said nation, in this case, we'll talk about America, to speak out, to rise up, to cry out, if you will. What's going on? How do we get around this? How do we fix this? What happened? And then our leaders play dumb. They're the ones that did all this and helped, orchestrate it. And they say, wow, we're trying our best. We got, now we got Tom Homan and company, and we're trying to deport as many people as we can. And yeah, they're doing a diversion. That's all they're doing. They're sending some criminals, quote unquote, back to their own countries, to the tune of what, 150,000 maybe? We have 20 million that entered the country. And I don't see too many Chinese nationals being deported. Do you? If you do, let me know where they're going. If you see them, where they're going. Because many thousands of them came across our borders during the Biden administration. And so, problem, reaction, now the people, us, citizens of the United States, rightfully cry out, and we speak up, and the leaders say, well, we're doing our best, here's what we're doing, and they parade in the news media who's complicit with the CEOs of these board of directors, if you will, that run the world, and they push an agenda, and their solution is going to be more control on us, the people. How? Everyone's asked to get right now what? Real ID. Everyone's running to get a real ID. Why? A driver's license isn't good anymore. We got to have a star on it. Okay, it's for your own good, they say. It's for safety. You'll be able to travel in peace or fly in peace. Why can't I already fly in peace with the ID I have now? I need a real ID. Why? Because it's going to lead to a digital ID, CBDC, central bank digital currencies, blockchain. We're seeing it, all the building blocks put into place. So when we do cry out, the answer is going to be, or the solution is going to be, here's what we have to bring in order to control what took place, which is the original invasion that was allowed to happen. It's problem, reaction, solution. The solution is always more control and more loss of, let's say, freedoms. That's the solution. It always entails more loss of freedoms and a tighter clamp on movement and travel and where you could live and where you could build and what you can do. It's always that way. And every nation's leaders are complicit in this cycle that we're going through. So keep that in mind as we go through this pivotal year of 2025 that I call the year of take cover. That's what I told people well before, well into 2023 and 2024. I was telling them to take cover. What's coming down the pike you're not going to like, even though Donald Trump was elected. The mission is still going forward. They're just using diversionary tactics and pacifying tactics to keep you in check, or to keep us in check as they push along and move along this system. So keep that in mind as you go about and make decisions on where you're going to live, what you're going to do. Will you sell? Will you move to a different area? How you are going to manage in this new environment that we're living in. That's all been orchestrated. Okay? That's what I wanted to talk about this morning. Problem, reaction, solution. Nothing happens by accident. Anthony signing off. Stay ready.